What's up, preppers? Welcome to an impromptu live video. This is purely because I can't be bothered sitting there editing a whole news show because I've just got back. I got back about 2 hours ago from my family holiday camping in Scotland. Got through the door and then realized I had a football podcast to film. So that's only just finished. So I've not even prepped this or anything. So we're winging it as usual. We prepped a little bit. But the idea is I wanted to come on and just share a bit more of my experience. I did put a video out earlier on in the week, during the week, to say what had happened. So just wanted to go a bit more into detail. Before I start, welcome to everybody in the chat. We've got Raja Mac. Evening, hope all are well. Philip Hull says, bonjour, all is well for me. How are you on this fine evening? I'm wonderful. Thank you very much, Phil. Paul Thomas says, evening all. Phil says, sounds like a back to school scenario. Get your jotters out. Looking forward to the learning. Well, me too. You guys teach me more than I can teach you. Phil 1 says, hi. Warzone says, right. Nobody say anything offensive. Clearly, you don't know the channel. Say what you want. Just don't insult each other. That's okay. You can insult people in general, but you know, life's too short to be offended. NJ660 says, evening all. Elusive Dartmoor says, hi Mike, hi Brian. There's no Brian. It's just me, solo. He's currently, there he is, Scottish Prepper 73. He's currently in the United States picking up bargains. So stay tuned to his channel because I'm sure he'll be doing some reviews and some openings when he gets back to show you what he's picked up, which is awesome. And Elusive Dartmoor says, just past 200 subs in 4 months. Excellent. Anyone on here who doesn't know, that's Elusive Dartmoor. Click on his name, go to his channel, give him a sub. Hi, Brian. How you doing? Right. So Brian was kind enough to give me a tent for this family holiday. Now, this is not on him. This is on me completely, just so you're aware of that before we start. This tent had been in storage for a few years, and he said, you need to get it out and test it. Now, I don't have a garden. Urban prepper. Yeah, I don't have a garden, and I didn't make the effort to go out to a field and try it. I just thought it'll be fine. So we get to the campsite. I get to the campsite. The missus was traveling in a separate car because she was dropping a car off at her brother's garage to get done. So I get to the campsite, put the tent up with the assistance of a 8-year-old and a 7-year-old. Quality as always. Got it all up, braced out, no problems, extra pegs, all the guide ropes done, solid, no problem. Zipped it all up. It was getting quite late, so then I had to get in the car and go and pick her up. By the time I went to pick her up, I said, we'll just stay here at your mum's and then we'll go in the morning, start the holiday from there. Got there in the morning, completely flooded out. There was only about 6 tents in the area. It was a caravan park with a small camping pitch in the middle. Everyone else's was up. Mine was down. I was like, oh God. So I thought because the ground was so soft, it'd just give way. But when I opened it up, everything was swimming in water. Tried to dry it all out, tried to empty it out, dry it all out. When as soon as the rain started, I noticed where it had blown over, the seams had split in multiple places and rain was just coming in galore. So we had to abandon it, pack it all up. Now, lessons. Test all your gear before you are in the situation, because guess what? I didn't test the gear, and guess what? I was in the situation. And yeah, I had duct tape with me, and I probably could have botched together a shelter. I could have made one out of a tarp. But when it's 2 young kids on holiday and a missus and a baby for the first time, it just wasn't worth it. So that's why we ended up completely abandoning it. So yeah, you need to test all your gear. So if you've bought a tent, even if it's a brand new tent, I mean, this would have been in storage for a while, so it's probably like, because it's dried up in storage, that kind of thing. That's probably why the seams went, maybe. But even if you buy something brand new from Amazon, from a tent supplier, anything, don't wait till you're in that bad weather to test it. Test all your gear. And I say it to everyone else and then didn't do it myself. So yeah, complete failure on my part on that one. And I know I've got no garden, but that's no excuse. Could have easily gone out to the local football field, just pop it up, make sure it was all right, but I didn't. Hey ho, this is how we learn. Another lesson to learn from this is one that a lot of people already do, like a cash stash. So you get them little key rings where you put like £20 in, stuff like that. That's great. Always having cash on you is handy. And it did come in handy, to be fair. But having a rainy day fund had never seemed more appropriate to the rainy day we hit, because we had to carry on this holiday. We couldn't just abandon it for the kids. We stayed at her in-laws' house and we went out and did something every day. Now, anybody on a budget with kids will know everything costs money. Nothing's free. Even free activities cost money. There's gift shops, there's ice creams, there's things like that. And because we'd prepaid for this camping pitch with all the entertainment and things included, blah, 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 we'd kind of relied on that a bit. So yeah, I really cut into money that I couldn't afford to cut into just to keep the holiday going. So a rainy day fund is a big tick must have for that. Yeah, and the last one lesson, without totally deconstructing it, I might do a follow-on video at some point, is don't trust the bloody Met Office if it's any more than a day. If it's 3 days before you go and it says sunny every day, don't trust it. Pack for every weather. The UK, the weather is unpredictable. It's ridiculous. So yeah, that's what's going on. Let's have a quick look at the comments before I lose track of everything. Warzone says, get home bag 20 miles, flat forest, seaside. What do I need? It depends on your fitness level, because 20 miles is probably achievable in a day. You could probably walk without needing the shelter and things like that. So depends on your fitness level, whether you'd need overnight gear or not. What I would say, again, like we've learned from the tent, test it. Do the walk, see how long it takes you. If you can only manage halfway in one stint, then you're going to need some sort of overnight sleeping arrangement. So yeah, just figure it out that way. What is Elusive Dartmoor's focus? On his channel, he does a lot of gear reviews. He's out in the field doing a lot of tests and doing quite a few little survival challenges. It's a cool little channel. He's brand new, so he's building up. So definitely check him out. And he's very open to suggestions if you've got ideas for him as well. So go and comment on his videos. Let him know what you want to see. Sorry, what is your channel? What? Are you talking to me or somebody in the comments? If you don't know what the channel's about, then, hi, welcome. I'm UK Urban Prepper. It's about prepping, but failing to prep at the moment. Yeah, you guys just talking amongst yourselves. Okay. I did want to do a bit of a news update as well and get your guys' feedback on that, because stuff's been going on while I've been away. And as I said, I didn't want to do the editing. So first up, outdoor smoking ban. Yeah. So they're talking about banning smoking in the outdoor places you can smoke at the moment, which is probably the last vestige of the pubs that people can go out the back and smoke, or smoke in the beer garden. So they're literally cancelling the UK pub industry. It's an absolute farce that they're doing this smoking. I don't smoke anymore, right? Let me just put that out there. The odd cigar doesn't count. But I quit a while ago, but I'm not like one of these ex-smokers. I still vape, and I'm not one of these ex-smokers that get on people's back. It's your choice. You're an adult. And they're saying that it's to save the NHS and save the millions, which is a crock. It's an absolute load of rubbish. If they completely ban, if everyone stopped smoking tomorrow, the amount of tax we put on cigarettes, to the income of that to suddenly be gone, it doesn't matter how many cases the NHS won't have to resolve in 20 years' time. The funding's just completely axed anyway. Smokers have probably kept it afloat for a long time because of the amount of tax on there. So I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's a ratings grab. I mean, what do you guys think of that with the smoking ban? Let's have a quick look if you're saying anything on that. Love your humbleness, Mike. Conspiracy to make us buy more nicotine patches. Yeah, potentially. I mean, but surely they make more off a packet. I mean, what's a pack of cigarettes now? I mean, when I stopped, it was coming up to $10 a packet, so it must be a lot more now. And most of that's tax. And how do we know most of that's tax? Because we only have to go to any other country to buy cheap cigarettes. It's ridiculous. There you go. Polonium. What's next? No laughing in built-up areas. Yes, Big Brother is watching you. No voicing your opinion on YouTube. That'll be the next ban. Bye, guys. Yeah. So Lucy Powell, Labour Commons leader Lucy Powell insists that it's not an attack on the hospitality industry. But that's the effect, right? That's like saying we're going to ban alcohol, but we want pubs to stay open. There's going to be a knock-on effect. People are just going to stop going out, especially smokers. Why would you go out and what do you have to do? Walk 10 meters down the road. So what's that going to do? So you got a pub in a built-up area. They can't congregate outside. They can't have a smoke in a beer garden. So they're going to walk out. They're going to be stood outside somebody's house 10 doors down just so they can have a cigarette. It's going to cause more chaos. It's just absolutely insane. Lucy Powell defended potential measures to ban smoking in pub gardens, saying smoke-free country would benefit the economy and the NHS. It's a lie. There's no more to say. That's a lie. How does that benefit the economy? Oh, right. Sorry. I'm ranting like I smoke. I know. I get it, but there you go. And don't worry about talking about your channel. You talk about your channel all you want. Promote as much as you want in my chat. Feel free. If they ban smoking, there'll be a black market. Yeah, instantly. There already is. Everybody knows somebody where you can get the £5 packets. Yes, you might smoke it and a twig drops out of it. Some of them are not great, but we all know it. And I can't remember the example. I think it was in Australia they did it. They did some sort of outright ban, and basically it just turned into absolute carnage, and all these street gangs stopped selling drugs and started doing black market cigarettes, and it was just even more so. Just insane. How to increase the criminals in the country overnight. As an asthmatic who cannot be in a room with smokers, I still have nothing against anyone smoking outdoors in a public place. Yeah, I get that. And it was weird when I went to Prague last time and you could still smoke in the pubs. And even as a smoker at the time, I didn't do it. I didn't want to put that onto anyone else. So, I mean, the classic one for me is we were at a Morrison's, and Morrison's used to have a cafe where half of it was smoking, half of it was non-smoking. Yes, I know, I'm going back a long time. This was separated by a garden-style lattice fence, like the smoke knew not to go past it. No, clearly it drifted through. But a courteous smoker would not smoke around non-smokers anyway. My blood boils when I see him on TV. Who's that? It slipped out that he's going after vape. Yeah, see, I already know this. I vape at the moment, and I talk a lot with the guy that owns the vape shop, and they're banning the 600 puff disposable, the larger disposables, like 3,000 puff and stuff like that, which has instantly already created a black market for them. You can still buy them in dodgy places. And then they're going to start coming after more disposables. So then the vape companies have to catch up and make more pod-based systems. It's just constant. I don't understand why you can't let us just be adults. If we want to make a terrible fucking decision and smoke, or drink ourselves stupid, or something like that, who you trying to protect? We're old enough to make this decision. Let us do it. All right. We know the consequences. We've seen the ad campaigns. We know when you're printing like practically horror shows on the side of packs of cigarettes, you've done enough. No selling. two packs for a tenner. That's cheap. Having a vice during SHTF will be dangerous. Maybe he's preparing us. Yes, this is very true. I have found that when I've moved to vaping, I can go a lot longer without it, and I don't get the same sort of cravings and pangs as when I stop smoking. So I think I'll be all right. I think. But obviously, stopping completely will be better. Stalin Mike. Hi, Hungry Tourist. How you doing? I can remember when you could smoke in a hospital. Imagine doing that now. I know you can't even smoke near the hospital. They say no smoking in this area, and it's just surrounded with people in wheelchairs smoking. I need to give up smoking anyway, but on the plus side, more cash for preps. Yeah, I encourage quitting smoking. I'll tell you when I quit. When I quit, I didn't go into vaping. I quit completely. And it was only through the lockdown that made me start again. And that's when I got into vaping. But I read Alan Carr's Easy Way. And it's like, it's not brainwashing, it's anti-brainwashing. And I read the book, I turned the last page and threw 20 cigs in the bin. Didn't even want a last one or anything like that, or I'll just finish this pack. Just didn't crave it, didn't want it. It really was the easy way. So I'd recommend that book to anyone. Right, let's get off smoking anyway. All this smoking makes me. There you go. Right. What else is going on? The winter fuel allowance. This is another joke that's happening at the moment. Axed the £300 winter fuel allowance for over 10 million pensioners. Now, does that not sound like population control to you? I'm not trying to throw out the conspiracy theories here too much, but that's insane. We have pensioners scared to put the heating on with the winter fuel allowance. And I know people like that. You go in their house and it's colder inside than it is outside. Taking it away, it's just absolutely insane. Unless you're going to up the state pension so they can actually afford it. You're not combat the cost of living. That should be your first port of call. You're taking away £300 winter fuel payment for 10 million pensioners, and you are going to kill 20% of them. This winter's, if that goes ahead fully, this winter's going to be horrendous. If you've got loved ones that are old, help them out. Go and put some heating on for them. If you can, if means allow you to. Rachel Reeves has now announced plans to means test the winter fuel payment for pensioners. So are they going to sort that out and get that set up, or are they going to axe it and then bring in a means test? Either way, somebody's going to suffer, right? Absolutely insane. And I know we have a lot of pensioners on this channel who get involved. So what do you guys think? Mel Sibley says, Mike, you're not seeing the bigger picture here. Smoking ban is smoke and mirrors. Don't look over there, look over here. Yeah, it is. It's true. And it's working because I'm fuming. Smoking, fuming. Currently stocking up on my favorite tangy cheese Doritos in case SHTF. There you go. Priorities. That's what it's all about. There you go. I did the same thing, the Jason Vale audiobook, which is apparently the same as Alan Carr one. Yeah, there you go. Loads of people quit. It's great. There you go. I assume this is about that. We're now onto the winter payment. So Mel's saying disgusting. Andy's gone back on his word. I have a spare room for a grandma, reasonable rent, no smoke. Does it come with heating? Is heating including the rental price? That's cool. Yeah, it's Snapdragon. That is. I'll star that and come back to it later, but that is completely off topic. I've starred a couple of things that I will touch back on. If people are asking questions, I'll highlight them and I'll come back to them. Yeah. So, absolute joke. Fuel allowance. There's nothing more to say on that. I mean, I don't think anyone will disagree with me on that one. Right. While this is all going on, I've got to put this up. I've got to put this on the screen. This idiot is over in Ibiza, raving. Your government, you elected them, raving in a super club in Ibiza, and pushing the proposal for a 4-day working week. Now, this is the one thing I might agree with. The 4-day working week has worked in other countries, and it's good for people in office jobs. It's more productive. People within them 4 days get more done than they would usually in the 5 days. And because there's an extra day for like a weekend, people spend more, which does increase the economy. It is a good idea. The downside is if you're in the retail industry or the service industry, it's not probably going to touch you. You're probably still going to be working every hour you can just to live. So it's a great thing for people on salaries, the 4-day working week. But if you are on an hourly rate and trying to survive in this overpriced hell, then it's probably not going to suit you. But I do think it's funny that, while they're talking about banning smoke completely, she's over there. What's that bottle behind her back there? Alcohol's still absolutely fine, clearly. Miss Rayner also revealed she makes a lethal cocktail at home called Venom using a bottle of vodka, a bottle of Southern Comfort, 10 bottles of Blue WKD, and a litre of orange juice. So, yeah, alcohol's probably not under threat as much as smoking is. Yet, which one do you think kills more people? It'd be interesting to see what you guys think. But either directly or indirectly, alcohol costs more lives every year than smoking does, even passive smoking. And challenge me on it if you want. Go and have a look. It's just stats, it's just facts. But when you look at the actual effects on the body of alcohol that can cause death, alcohol-related accidents, drink driving, all this kind of thing, alcohol causes more deaths every year and more strain on the NHS than smoking does. So why are we so hung up on smoking? That's interesting, right? Well, there we go. She's pregnant too, I think, says Elusive Dartmoor. Maybe he's got some inside knowledge. Warzone 100 says, how much damage will I do in the next 4.5 years? And will it be repairable? Oh, I don't know. At some point, you've just got to scrap everything and start again, right? Madness. There we go. The Rainers. Good name. The budget in October will be the big problem. Middle income families will get hit. Every earning family will get hit. Yeah. Unless you are sat back and getting every benefit under the sun, we're all going to feel the pinch. Whatever happened to that old Labour of tax the super rich, but not the working people? They used to exist 20 years ago, right? Anyway. Okay, I'm just trying to stay on topic here, guys. Stay on topic. Yeah, technically it's compressed 37 hours over 4 days rather than 5. Don't get too excited. They're not giving you anything. No, I get that. And I know it's longer days, but personally, as like a new dad, I'd like that extra day. I'm happy to work a couple of extra hours each day to make that up, and the studies have shown in other countries, people are more productive with it. So it does work on that level. In the IT industry like I'm in, then definitely I think it's a good thing. I have flexi working. You can work from home or go into the office. I still do 5 days, but I'm able to do things like the school run. Yeah, see, I have flexible working, but I can't do the school run because the time it takes out of the day, I can't account for that because my flexibility is working from home and working in the office. It's not on the hours. Your probably on the hours where you've got core hours, but you can go either way. So different companies, horses for courses. There you go. Alcohol causes the most, full stop, 100%, says Bry. Agree, alcohol costs more lives. It destroys more lives as well, unfortunately. Now, I'm not getting on people's back who drinks. I had a drink last week while I was on holiday. So there you go. It's not a big deal on that. It's more to say, why is smoking such the big evil? And if they ban smoking and the NHS is not miraculously saved and suddenly we're not miraculously loaded as a country because we've lost all that tax money, then what the excuse is going to be then? I'll tell you what will happen. Your petrol price will double, your alcohol price will double, everything that the smokers are paying in tax for us right now will have to come somewhere. So everything else will go up in price. The cost of living will go through the roof. Insane. Right. What are we on now? Let's have a quick look at the comments before we move on. Don't forget possible changes to road tax. The government is supposed to be looking at a pay per mile. Even the EV drivers will get hit also. Yeah, I did hear this recently that under this government, they just don't want people driving. Only the elites should have cars, right? So, it might be cheaper to have a horse soon. Yeah, there you go. There you go. Bryce says it all. Okay, let's move on from that. We've had rants of that now. This is just me ranting, isn't it, for an hour? I'm sorry, guys. Feel free to change the subject in the comments. Last one. Okay, so this is where some people might get a bit irate with me, but I'm sick of biting my tongue. All right, so only hundreds. Now, hundreds sounds like a lot when you say hundreds, but no, only hundreds of places are left in the prison system. And think about that. How many court cases are pending? How much crime is committed daily? The prisons are massively overpopulated. Now, it's been happening for a while. They've been increasing sentences for certain crimes, which I agree with to a degree, but obviously demand supply. You should have built more prisons before you started making harsher sentences. And do we really think putting people in prison for months and years for Facebook comments or social media comments or offending somebody is going to help this situation? Or in the same breath, when you release the offenders that have caused harm, and all sorts of terrible people, you're releasing them early so you can imprison the people that just don't like your political views. I'm just waiting for the knock at the door. You said something we don't agree with. But yeah, now, some more extreme accounts have come up with the theory of what's going to happen with the prisons. And I was less surprised at the video and the people saying it than the comments in there agreeing with it, because it's just absolutely insane. And I just want to try and debunk this right now. Okay, so the theory is for the new prison system, this SafeStore, not necessarily that brand, but self-storage units. And they're selling it as these pictures look. They're like ready-made cells. And yeah, this could solve the prison problems. And this is what they're going to do. And they're going to stick people in here. What a load of crap. It's just an unresearched pile of drivel. I have one of these storage units. Yeah. I can reach my hand through to the person next door if I wanted to. And I know what he's storing there because they're leaning up at the corner and you can see them, right? You could do that on the side and the whole wall will bend. If you trip and hit the door's gone. Secure, they're not secure at all, not even possible. Look, there's one of the kind of locks that you have, the kind of standard locks that are on there. And doesn't matter what you replace this lock with. Look what's give way. It's the metal. They're all made of these wafer-thin sheet metals because they rely on the security cameras and stuff like that to stop people getting in. The walls and the gate and the padlock are purely there just to keep your stuff private. Nothing to do with the security. To use these as prisons would be impossible. You'd be cheaper to build a new prison. There's no sanitation. There's no plumbing. Very few, a lot of them don't even have toilets in there. Some of them do have little office facilities with little toilets and sinks, but not per cell, not in the blocks where the cells would be. It's absolutely insane to think this could possibly be done. Have you guys seen this? Do you guys know what I'm talking about? Please comment in the please let me know in the comments, because it's absolutely ridiculous that you could even think this would be possible. Now, don't get me wrong, I don't know what the solution is apart from build new prisons, build these new super prisons, make the most of things like the disused Air Force bases and military bases. They could be secured and set up. Barracks could easily be made into prisons because they've got the facilities in there. There's loads of things they could do. To say that this would be an option is ridiculous. It really is. Just let's have a look in the comments. Lone Wolf says they are letting out violent criminals and locking up someone for a tweet. Exactly. Absolutely insane. Madness. One of the first things Labour did was get rid of the prison badge, and then riots happened. Is there a plan for more prison places? Is there? Well, I mean, it's insane. Like Faulty Towers, but with prison and not a hotel. There we go. Chain link fence on the top of most of the units. Yeah, it is. It's the one that I've got is like the mesh, just metal mesh, and you could lift it because I did to put a power cable over. It's just my stuff is insured. They do have insurance that comes with the units, but I also have my own insurance for different things. Yeah. Princetown Prison has been closed due to a radon. Radon. Okay, right. Okay. There we go. The Rainers. We have over 11,000 foreign nationals in UK prisons. What are your thoughts on that? I mean, it's just, if you've committed offence and you're not of this country, I mean, I'm in two minds with that. Yeah, I think you should serve justice in the place you've committed the offence, but we should have the option to deport you to your country. I'm just saying it as it is. I'm not against immigration in general. It does enrich us as a country, but you're a criminal. You're taking up our prison system. Off you go. You're on a blacklist. You can't come back. There you go. Simple. It's a no-brainer. So around social media, the Margaret Thatcher, where she's saying, I'm going to paraphrase because I can't remember the exact quote, but she's basically saying that when the day comes that we can't get rid of people that are here illegally or illegal immigrants or send them home, then that's when it's all going to collapse. It's all going to be chaos. Say what you want about Maggie. She was right. It's happening. Paul Thomas, their prisons are worse than ours. Could send them to fight in Ukraine for an exchange for a pardon. Controversial. There you go. Mel Sibley, £47,000 a year to keep a prisoner. That's more than most people's incomes. Now, here's a question for you guys. Do we treat our prisoners too well? I mean, I'm sure you've seen some videos circulating not so long ago of a prison officer and a prisoner, but ignoring what's going on, looking around the cell, it doesn't look like a bad place to be. TVs, consoles, wearing their own clothes. It's nothing like movie prison, right? Do we treat them too well? Is it a punishment anymore? I mean, to be honest, the stress of living in this country with the cost of living, crime, like people going to prison, it could be a legitimate option for people. You're going to end up homeless, or you can go and have a cell, 3 square meals a day, etc. TV in your room, blah, blah, blah. Is it overpopulated by choice? Lone Wolf Prepper, or will they bring back national service for non-violent crimes instead of locking them up? I would. We've proved it's worked on television with things like Bad Lads Army. And yeah, it doesn't work on every case, but even in that, where it was televised and they couldn't be physical with them and stuff like that, and they're just shouting in the face, it showed that kind of discipline works. So why not? Why not? I do genuinely want your opinions on this, though. Do you think that is a possibility? Could you use the storage facilities and their wafer-thin walls and no sanitation as prisons? What do you think of that? Because I looked at the comments in this video that said about this, and they're all going, great information, yeah, great knowledge, blah, 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 and all this. And I'm like, you don't even have to own a unit. Go and look at one. Tell them you're thinking about it, you want to have a look around. And just do that on the wall and watch the whole thing bend. It's wafer thin. It's just not possible. Any more questions or comments before we disappear? We've already seen that one. 3 square meals a day tempted. Exactly, Mel. Exactly. Honestly, I mean, if I didn't have kids and the missus, if I was in a terrible situation, maybe, you know, do a little non-violent, I don't know, do an aggressive Facebook post and get 18 months holiday. Starmer's pledged $3 billion per year to Ukraine for however long it takes to win the war. This is why we will get taxed to death, but will bring conscription to supporting the coming World War III. This is it. I mean, the problem is it could easily, it won't take much now to introduce a wartime economy. Yeah. This is what this budget could be. It could be a wartime budget, and we all have to come together. But never has there been a better time to be a prepper and start thinking about the repercussions of that kind of wartime budget. Not so much like an invading country, defending your home, stuff like that, but just think of the cost of living in this country now, how that could potentially get worse, and that's what you're prepping for. And with that comes a higher crime rate, more risk, more need for OPSEC and general security around your home. So yeah, it's a good time to be a prepper. Good night, folks. Keep prepping, stay safe. God bless. God bless. Lone Wolf Prepper. There's the Ration Nerd in the house. We just missed all the news, Ration Nerd, of how terrible it is. Save that spare room. I'll be emigrating soon. Anybody that doesn't know, check out Ration Nerd's channel. Absolutely awesome. Really good laugh. If you're easily offended, well, you shouldn't be here if you're easily offended, but if you're easily offended, don't go on his either. Yeah, so let me just pull up these starred comments before we go off, that were off topic. Warzone 100 said, touchy subject, but crossbows, get one before they're banned, is the question. Again, it feels like that was a bit of, ooh, we might ban it. Ooh, we might ban it. You know, a bit of obfuscation and keeping you looking at different things in the news. But yes, personally, I don't think they'll do an outright ban. They will probably license them. You have to be registered, I think, in Scotland already. But they will probably go down the gun control route with them. Now, if that's the case, if you own it already and you apply for a license, it's going to be ticking boxes, cross the T's, dot the I's, and get your application in and become licensed, right? Now, if you don't own it, doing the same process, you have to justify why you are buying it. So you have to say, I'm part of this club, I go and do this range shooting, this is what I do, etc. And you have to actually do that. And probably it's like the UKARA, have a club sign off that you've been there 5 times, etc. So unless you want to jump through all them hoops, yes, I think if you own it already and they do license it, then it'll be a lot easier to apply. So hope that answers that one. Snapdragon halfway through the chat went completely off topic, but has anyone else noticed the amount of burst water pipes around at the moment? Everywhere I go, there's a river running down the gutter and it's at the side of the road. Yes, we are getting taxed to death and everything's falling apart. I personally, I've not seen anything around here, but where I went to school and grew up, the water pipes went every winter, I think, pretty much, and they were never replaced, and there was always floods going on. It's absolutely insane. Like the rest of the infrastructure. Have you noticed the potholes? Ooh, everywhere. Philip Hull said during the chat that Russian sabotage of pipes, lack of plumbers, crap material on pipes. Where do we get good pipes? There we go. Yeah, that's probably the answer to all of the questions. I'm not sure about Russian sabotage on water pipes in the local village. I'm not buying that one quite at this stage. But yeah, the lack of plumbers is a legitimate one. We seem to be pushing all our youth into higher education and into universities that are teaching degrees in stuff that I never thought you'd even have a degree in anymore. Not a competent skill, like something completely random, like part of the social sciences. And that's our biggest export is education at the moment. The problem with that is we're not doing what we used to do. And when I was at school, they would literally look at you and you'd go to the careers advice and they'd sit down and they'd go, yeah, you're probably better off in a trade. And they'd send you off to do joinery and plumbing and things like that. And we produce some of the best people in that industry. But now it's just like, yeah, you can go to university. You can do. You can specialize in photography of sausages, or whatever you decide to do. You can now get a degree in it. Yeah, I've been watching a lot of Turning Point, the guy that started the Turning Point movement in America. His videos about college is a scam. You might be able to tell, but I get it works. It's good for some people. It's good for like higher level careers. I'm a coder. I never went to college. I never went to university. I'm self-taught. It's still possible. All right. But I fully respect people that do go down that route for the specific industry they want to be in. But now it just seems too easy. And it seems like the get out. Everyone's just going to work at Nando's at the weekend and learn a course that's completely useless. Anyway. The Ramers said, I bet Starmer will ban crossbows. Don't think he'll ban it. Like I say, I think he'll license and control. Ration Nerd, be well, stay safe, all my brothers and sisters in the UK. Ration Nerd, you gotta go and subscribe to his channel. He's brilliant. I advise a self-loader with a magazine fires 1 bolt per second. There you go. I mean, I've not got any. I've looked at stuff like that, like the Adder and that, but yeah, it's not really something I've got. And right, let me just say this. Don't put too much stock in your crossbow. Don't think I've got a crossbow, now I'm Rambo, I can protect my whole family and survive civil unrest. There's a lot more firearms in this country than you realize, registered and unregistered. And if you live anywhere near a city like me, they will soon start to appear and come into play if SHTF. So think more of the staying out the way of that and avoiding that rather than I'm going to John Rambo it. Have plan A, B, C, D, and make sure you have a get out of Dodge plan. My 2 cents, but yeah, just bear that in mind. We are not a gun-free country or a rifle, etc. My 2 kids, medical and engineering sorted. There you go. That's legitimate things. But I bet you even your 2 that do medical and engineering also have to do other courses while they're there that they're not interested in. You know, lessons in wokeness. Yeah, we've seen that. Me and Brian's mentioned that one a few times in a couple of our things. Right. I think that's me, guys. I think we've come to the end there. Thank you for sitting and letting me rant. There's been a steady 30 of you in this whole time. Don't forget to like, subscribe. Please share my content and videos if you can. I seem to be getting shunned off YouTube at the moment and things hidden. So the more you share, the better. Oh, while I've got you, I will mention still, I'm still got this hike to do. I'm really worried that I've not trained enough, but I'm going to do it and I'm going to smash it. I'm going to record the whole way. I'm going to be uploading videos on the fly, like while I'm doing it, like for shorts and stuff like that. I'll possibly even sit there in the tent with aching feet, editing videos each day, and I'll get content up. But in the description of this video and every other video I've done, there is a PayPal donation link and there is an Amazon hike wish list and stuff like that. The hike wish list, don't worry about that too much. People have sent me stuff off it and it really does help, but I think I can manage with what I've got now. Anything I do get is a bonus. It's more important for any donations. All the channel revenue, all the adverts, all the donations through PayPal from now up until the walk, which starts on the 12th of this month, goes to the charity. It will all be donated to the charity. So anything you can give, pence or pounds, really helps. And I know times are hard, but it's for a really good cause. That's all I'll say. Thank you for supporting me so far. Again, just watching an advert helps. Don't forget, like, subscribe, leave a comment afterwards. If you're watching on the replay, comment below and I'll answer what I can. And there we go. It's good to end on a note of Vaseline for nipple chafing. That should how all videos should end, with a comment like that. So on Vaseline, we will end it. Thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you all in the next video. Goodbye.